Local. Breaking news. This is News Channel 3 covering West Michigan live at 5.
Another deadly plane crash in West Michigan. Now federal investigators will be back on scene today at the Tulip City Airport to try and figure out what happened. We're live with the latest. And an emotional day for the Art Prize 2011 winner. Not only does she take home the grand prize, she's also mourning the loss of her mother. Here in her own words, how she's handling it all.
Valverde deals, and a swing and a miss. Valverde strikes out Alex Rodriguez.
And with that, the Detroit Tigers are headed to the American League Championship Series. We have all the highlights from last night's big win. Today is Friday, October 7th. Good morning. I'm Jessica Harthorn. Josh Rowe, we want to get back to our top story this morning. A deadly accident in Ottawa County claims the life of an Allendale woman. It happened last night on Lake Michigan Drive just east of 24th Avenue. Police say 38-year-old Michelle Newman was driving eastbound when for some reason she drifted abruptly into oncoming traffic. That's when she sideswiped one car and then hit a Ford F-150 head-on. Both Newman and the driver of the truck were pinned in their vehicles. Newman died at the scene. Officials say she was not wearing a seatbelt. The woman driving the pickup, 20-year-old Alicia Ashman of Richmond, was taken to Spectrum with serious injuries. She is expected to be okay, though. The driver in the car that was sideswiped was not hurt. Right now, investigators are trying to figure out why Newman drifted into oncoming traffic in the first place. Federal investigators will be on scene today in Allegan County to figure out what caused a deadly plane crash. That plane crashed just before 7 last night at the Tulip City Airport, killing the pilot. Jessica Wheeler joins us live from the newsroom with more on what happened. Good morning, Jessica.
Good morning. The FAA and the NTSB were on scene overnight. They're expected to be back out again this morning when the sun comes up in order to determine the cause of that crash. The plane is an AQ-200 aircraft. It's classified as experimental, an amateur-built plane. Holland police say they don't know what the skill level of the pilot was or the exact reason for the crash. But when officers got to the crash site, they found the small plane on its top at the east end of the runway, and the solo pilot was already dead.
Information is that he was practicing maybe what are called touch-and-go landings and came in and fell short or crashed just short of the runway coming from the east to the west.
Now, this comes just 2 weeks after a deadly plane crash in Plainwell. Bill Beswick of Holland crashed his experimental aircraft after also taking off from the Tulip City Airport. He slammed his plane into a FedEx truck on US 131. So far, a preliminary investigation found there was nothing mechanically wrong with that plane. A full investigation there could take months. As for the crash in Holland, police tell us the victim and the owner of the plane is a 60-year-old man from Gobles. We do know that that plane is registered to a Gerald Brinkerhoff of Gobles, but we're still waiting for officials to confirm who that victim is. The Tulip City Airport was shut down last night, but I just spoke with officials there. They do tell me that it will be open today. Reporting live in the newsroom, Jessica Wheeler, News Channel 3.
Thank you, Jessica. A 73-year-old man is found dead in Allegan County. Now the search is on to find the person responsible. Lloyd Palmentier's daughter found him yesterday afternoon at his home on 14th Street in Watson Township. Investigators say his death is suspicious and they're treating it as a homicide. Now they say they're looking for his son Roger, who has been living with him. We spoke to several friends of the family after Lloyd's body was found. They tell us the two appeared to get along just fine.
I can't say anything bad about any of them because they've all been good friends, almost like family. Lloyd was like a father figure to me.
Detectives are hoping to speak with Palmentier because they say he was probably the last person to see his father before he died. And they're also looking for the person who may have Palmentier's 1998 maroon Chrysler Town & Country, similar to the one you see there on your screen. It has a handicap license plate, 8637J. If you see the minivan, call the Allegan County Sheriff's Department. It's a bittersweet win for this year's big Art Prize winner.
My mother died this morning, so turns out, you know, he's in the right place. And the town's not the only one who needs, you know, that little dose of, you know, uplifting, being uplifted and joy, and I think that's what the work does.
Mia Tavenati's crucifixion took the top prize of $250,000. At the same time, she was mourning the loss of her mother. Tavenati is no stranger to Art Prize either. Last year, she took second place. She said she had high hopes last year, but this year she just let the subject of her piece lead the way. And here's the other top finishers. Second place went to Tracy Van Duyn from Chicago for his work Metaphorist. And third place went to Ann Arbor artist Linda Cole for her sculpture called Rain. Even though Tavenati is a second-time winner, next year she will not be eligible to win for a third time because of new rules. The top 10 winners must sit out next year. And you can see all 10 winning works of art plus the 7 winners of the juried competition online. Just follow the links we've set up for you on our homepage at WWMT.com. In the end, it came down to just one run, and after 9 innings, the Tigers hold on to move on to the American League Championship Series for the first time in 5 years.
There it goes! Back-to-back home runs for the Tigers. Kelly and Young.
The Tigers started off strong in the first inning with 2 back-to-back home runs, but they'd get themselves into some jams later on, letting the bases get loaded twice. The Yankees could not deliver on those, but later came up with a home run of their own in the bottom of the 5th. By the 9th, it was the Tigers 3-2, and it ended with a strikeout of Alex Rodriguez. The Tigers now face Texas for Game 1 of the ALCS on Saturday. We will know today if any new jobs were added in the last month. The Labor Department is set to release its latest unemployment figures this morning. Today's report is expected to show employers added only about 60,000 jobs in September, with unemployment stuck at 9.1%. If that's the case, it would be the 3rd straight month. Now, President Obama is yet again pushing Republicans to pass his jobs plan. He held a press conference yesterday to push home his point. He says if they don't act soon, they could be facing voter backlash. But many are standing firm, saying they'll only support parts of the package. Terrence Bell is convicted of sexual assault and pornography charges. Now he's headed to prison.
Mr. Foreperson, what is your verdict on count 1?
Guilty.
On Thursday, a jury found Bell, who is the husband of Kalamazoo City Commissioner Stephanie Bell, guilty of sexually assaulting a 17-year-old girl. Prosecutors proved their case with thousands of text messages and testimony from the victim. It was an emotional scene in the courtroom when the verdict came down. Bell broke down into tears and his mother collapsed. The prosecutor says it was not easy for the victim either.
I think she has mixed emotions. She truly loved this individual for a period of time, and now she's seeing that there is, according to the sentencing guidelines, a prison sentence.
After the verdict was read, lawyers argued whether Bell should remain free on bond. Ultimately, the judge decided he would be taken directly to jail. He now faces a minimum of 7 years behind bars. He is set to be sentenced on December 7th. The protests on Wall Street are spreading around the country. Now people are coming together right here in West Michigan to support the cause. More on this after the break.